What say you, Mr. American Ambassador?
Fuck Canada!
Hey, fuck you, buddy!
Hey guys, it's Bando. This is Brexit Bando. Bit of a quick one here. No planning, no intro, no nothing. So this is just brought to me by Hyperlethality, who is a long-time supporter of the channel. Now, Hyperlethality is probably one of the earliest supporters, actually, and he, she, it, whatever, is based in Canada. I apologise. I'm so sorry for you. To suffer under the auspices of Justin Trudeau. And this is kind of the problem. So Hyperlethality's just come to me and told me that all of their Black Library audiobooks have disappeared. And okay, that doesn't seem like a huge problem. So they went to their app store, or they went to on their smartphone, and the Black Library apps disappeared. He's gone to the App Store, and it's not there at all. It's completely gone from the Canadian App Store. I've checked the UK one, it's on there. Now, okay, apps can disappear all over the place, and that's not a huge problem usually, except when, like Hyperlethality, you've got about $400 worth of audiobooks linked to your account. Now, I get it, if you read the terms and service of a lot of these websites, they can withdraw them at any moment. Unless you are physically holding the media in your hand, you do not own it. Even then, you do not technically own it. You have a license to use what they've given you. But this isn't on, because nothing, not even an email to go out and say, hey, unfortunately due to X, Y and Z law, this is being removed. Now, Canada has been passing a lot of laws recently where unless certain manufacturers, hosts, websites, all sorts of things comply 100% with certain restrictions and requirements and general government overreach, then they'd be banned from Canada. And this has happened a lot. There was a YouTube thing recently where a lot of Canadian YouTubers were coming out and saying how this is going to affect them. And it was things like banning access to news sources that weren't based in Canada. And it's a real concern of mine because, other than Warhammer and Airsoft and Natalie Portman's abs in Attack of the Clones, one of my biggest interests, or I might say autistic hyperfixations, is this current culture shift from the government towards totalitarianism, basically. It sounds very hyperbolic, but it really is true. A lot of governments in the West are moving towards just total control. Now, it's not like jackboots, black uniforms, stomping down, kicking your doors in and being like, haha, look at us with our tiny moustaches, we're clearly evil. Totalitarianism. No, it's this bureaucratic totalitarianism where basically your lives are just made so monotonous through constant bludgeoning bureaucracy. And as a consumer, a person in the market, as a creator, as someone who creates something for people to consume, who wants to, make an exchange. I exchange my time for your time, and, you get entertainment, I get a little bit of ad revenue. We both consent to this, we both know what we're getting into when we go into it. I don't need the government involved in that. I don't need the government to come along and tell people that, hey, you can't watch this because you happen to live in a certain country. I don't think it is right that these people can come along and strip someone of half a grand effectively's worth of product that they've purchased. How would you like it if you came in one day and Games Workshop was clearing out your display cabinet because they've decided that actually, I don't know, we've decided we're no longer going to support Ultramarines anymore. You know, they're problematic for some reason. So rather than just write them out of the law, we've actually gone and decided to remove them from the world. So anyone who's got an Ultramarines army, we're just taking your models back from you. We wouldn't accept it. Like you wouldn't accept it. Like some guy turns up your door and says, "Hey, I'm here to take your Warhammer models back." You wouldn't care what the piece of paper said that he had that gave him justification. You tell him to fuck off. So we shouldn't have to accept it for digital goods. At the very minimum, Canadian members should have been sent an email in advance by Games Workshop saying, "Hey, unfortunately, out of our control, this is happening." At the very minimum. Beyond that, they should have either been given the chance for a partial refund, a full refund, in exchange for vouchers. They should have been given the option to download all of their files locally, or GW should possibly even host these things on their own bloody streaming service. Oh wait, you can't even access that in Canada. You know, there's talk of that being stripped out from Canada as well. Why on earth would I legitimately purchase digital goods with no guarantee that I'm going to be able to keep them? GW is never getting a penny of my money when it comes to audiobooks. I'm not afraid to say it. I don't really care. It's not a big sort of hyperbolic, deal for me. I will not buy audiobooks. I will listen to audiobooks, but I will not pay for them. And if you think that that is a problem, that I should be supporting the artists, get fucked. Because frankly, no. Because the support goes both ways. I will support them as much as that company supports me as a consumer. And if they aren't willing to go to bat to say, "Hey, no, these are our customers, they have purchased something, they have made a good faith agreement with us, that they have taken their time to earn money, to give it to us, and we have exchanged that for a product which we have taken time to make." Find an alternative host. Find someone based in Canada who is able to host it and still able to provide your product. No, they'll look at that and think, "Oh, it's just Canada, it's a tiny market, it won't be a huge problem." Or what happens when Germany does it next? Or the Netherlands, France, even America? Because these laws that are wonderfully progressive always seem to end up leaking out of these shitholes that are run by people like Justin Trudeau into other countries and ruining everyone's day. I'm sick and tired of it, okay? I really am. He's got no way of getting a refund. He's got nothing. No notification. No warnings. If I was Hyperlethality, I would be writing a very strongly worded but polite email to Games Workshop demanding a refund for all of those goods. And frankly, I just think that it just needs to be better. I don't know what else I can say, guys. Are you in Canada? Have you lost access? Can you check as well? I'm sick and tired of this crap. This is why you should not buy any digital media. The other reason is that they can change it. We've seen this a lot with things like, I don't know, off the top of my head, Community, for example. Community is an American TV show about a bunch of people in a community college, if you haven't seen it. It's a very funny TV show for the first couple of seasons, and includes a brilliant episode where the gang decides to play Dungeons & Dragons to help cheer up a really depressed classmate. In this episode, none of these people play Dungeons & Dragons except, like, two of them. there's the heavily autistic Abed and his roommate Troy. They know what they're doing. They play it because they're kind of geeky. Then you have Fat Neil, who is the GM, and he's the one who loves playing it, and that's the one they're trying to help out. And everyone else just kind of understands roughly the concept of Dungeons & Dragons. So they all get told, hey, we're going to go help Neil. We're going to play Dungeons & Dragons. And one character turns up dressed as a drow. And if you know what a D&D drow is, it means they have pitch black skin and white hair. And they make a joke about it, about how it's not blackface, it's not pretending to be an African, he's a drow, he's a dark elf. Well, Netflix, I think it was, who was hosting it, or it might have been Peacock, it doesn't really matter. They got up in arms over this one episode, and they've deleted it. It's gone. You can't watch it legally online anymore. Of course, you can still get it online. You can still find it. You can Google it find it on YouTube or wherever. Another one. My friend, close friend of mine, has a copy of Song of the South, a Disney film. Song of the South is deemed to be racist because it depicts the antebellum South, South America, or Southern, the United States, where there are lots of racial stereotypes. They're stereotypes for a reason. These people talk like they did talk in that area and in that era. But that is deemed as socially unacceptable now, so Disney doesn't release that. That film is no longer available. It was never released on Disney DVD, and they swept it away to pretend it never happened. You've probably heard one of the songs from it, which was Zippity Doo Dah, which was one of the most famous Disney songs for quite some time. Only reason she's got a copy of it is because she has a pirated DVD copy. E.T. There are digital changes to the current version of E.T. you can get your hands on between that and the original VHS release. There are changes to Star Wars. You cannot view anywhere the original theatrical cut of Star Wars because George Lucas in his infinite wisdom has released several different versions. Now, personally, I actually prefer some of the newer versions to the theatrical cut. Oh my god, I'm going to get stoned by nerds for saying it, but I do. But you can't watch it if you want it. You can find them. People have pieced them back together and de-special editioned these Star Wars. But, yeah. How are we supposed to do it for this? How is Hyperlethality supposed to legally continue listening to the audiobooks that he has paid for? Is he supposed to keep purchasing these? How is he supposed to keep purchasing these? Why would he keep purchasing these? Maybe I've got it wrong. I only know the one Canadian who listens to Black Library books, and he's obviously not particularly objective in this situation right now. So if you're a Canadian listening, and you still have the app, please pop a comment down there and go, Bando, you fat retard, you've got it completely wrong. And I'll retract the video. I'll straight up delete it. I will record another 13 and a half minutes of apologising and saying how, I should do better research. But as is, very angry, very disappointed. Justin Trudeau is quite clearly the son of one of the Castros, and he also likes wearing blackface. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.